our Week 5 predictions. Don't forget to drop down your predictions in the comment section down below. And this is the topic we do every week, a little fun game, trivia game to see who comes out with the best record. NFL Pick'em Week 5. First game tomorrow night, Thursday night. Seahawks versus the Rams. Who's winning?
Game.
It's in
Seattle.
Oh,
Seattle, yep.
I know, man. This one's tough.
Nah, the Rams need this game. I mean, they're just coming off a big divisional loss against the Cardinals after coming off a big win against the Bucs. This is a game I don't think you can go back-to-back and lose to the Cardinals and the Seahawks. You have to prove to them that you're still one of the top dogs in this division.
I'm at a crossroads with this one, to be honest with you, because they do not lose in Seattle. And obviously,
Seattle didn't look great last week.
They lost to Tennessee in Seattle.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right, that makes my decision a little bit easier now. I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm going with the Seahawks. Right now, they're 2-2. Should have beaten Tennessee. The Rams are 3-1. I think that Seattle needs to at least even out the record with the Rams to feel comfortable about themselves. And I think this is the game that they do it. You know, Matthew Stafford, I know he's talented, but he is up and down. You know, sometimes he's not his best.
And I don't want to go in too deep because obviously it's supposed to be quick, but he's had amazing games this year, man.
Versus the Cardinals, he wasn't too good. I hold that
Cardinals
against him.
are different, and that's a division team.
They've played the Rams.
Ridiculous. Against the Bears, he was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Week 2 against the Colts.
But you just said the Bears.
Agreed. And I'm
versus
okay.
the Rams and Colts. I mean, the Cardinals and Colts, he didn't play his best. But the Colts, he didn't play that great. So 2 out of the 4 games this season, his
numbers are still amazing so far.
Yeah, I get you,
Yeah.
but I just think Seattle's going to take this one. And Matthew Stafford, we can either get 4 touchdowns, no interception Stafford, or 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, or a late game pick.
If I had to put my money on anything, Seattle's defense is not like that.
No.
And the weapons that the Rams have and McVay's play calling up until this point.
You saw McVay said he wants to get your boy Woods involved.
Robert Woods breakout week.
This is
the one.
Okay.
I'll put my life on it. He's tweaking this game. Rams win this one.
How many yards catches?
I'm going to say 70 yards, touchdown.
That'd be a huge game for him.
I would cry. Yeah. I need it.
Bad.
And Darrell Henderson, if he plays, because obviously I think he's questionable right now.
Carson's questionable too.
Which is interesting because he's been dealing with this all season so far.
It's a neck thing I saw.
And that sucks because obviously they just paid him, and he's looked good.
Yeah.
I mean,
he paid him, but it's guaranteed for 1 year. So.
Which is fine. But 12 touches, 80 yards, it's like he's
always been
efficient.
Yeah.
That being said, Seattle's defense, as good as Bobby Wagner is, as good as Jamal Adams is,
Jamal's a scrub.
Easy.
He's not a scrub.
I understand. I know. I get it. I'd hold some animosity
like
towards him too.
Yeah.
So next game, the Jets versus Falcons, London game in the UK. What do you think?
This is also a tough one.
This is easy.
You're going Jets?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
300 yards, 3 touchdown performance by Zach Wilson.
Yeah, this is Jets. The Atlanta Falcons have not looked great this season. I mean, I know Matt Ryan's, I guess, starting to pick it up a little bit, but that defense is god awful, and I don't really believe in whatever that offense is doing. And I think Cordell Patterson, that's a whole nother segment, but I think that's a bit of an anomaly.
I am going to go the Falcons, and I understand where that might be an issue. Hey, I have my reasons. The Jets pass rush has been amazing, and that's why I think
it's been one of the best in the league.
It's been phenomenal.
We're going to violate Matt Ryan.
And that is a strong possibility.
Bryce Huff.
But I'm not fully confident in the Jets offense as a whole right now. I need to see it another week before I can start giving them wins against teams like the Falcons, because Falcons haven't been completely garbage. You understand what I'm saying? They've been bad. They lost last week, and they shouldn't have. But regardless of that, I think the Falcons will do enough to get past.
Yeah, I got the Jets. Now, next game, Patriots versus Texans.
All right, Pats.
Yeah, Pats.
Going Patriots. 2, Lions versus Vikings.
This is a must-win for the Vikings. We've talked about their upcoming schedule. You know, they're playing Carolina, Dallas, the Chargers. Like, they have to win this game against Detroit, divisional game. I know Detroit's been pretty competitive over the last few weeks. It's a bit of a surprise, but there's no way that you're the Vikings who go into this game. You have to be on your A game because the schedule is terrible coming
And it's
up.
at home.
At Minnesota, I feel like the Vikings have to win this one. As good or as inconsistently good as the Lions have been all season, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I'm kind of in between on here, but the Vikings need this one.
I'm going with the Vikings. I think this is their bounce back win. But if they do lose this game,
Season
wrap
might be
the
over.
season.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
over.
agreed.
Next game, the Eagles versus
This is another
Panthers.
tough one, man.
Eagles, Panthers. Damn. I got to go with the Panthers. They're coming off a tough loss to the Cowboys. They were competitive. I mean, a little bit of garbage time there at the end, but Sam's look great. We'll see what happens with Christian McCaffrey. I know he's projected to be out multiple weeks, but he's back at practice, so that's a good sign. It might have been like a non-contact jersey or something he had on. But if Christian McCaffrey could play, I would love the Panthers. The Eagles are an interesting team. I don't think they're there yet. I do like their offense. I think Jalen Hurts should be the quarterback for the foreseeable future, but the Panthers should pull this out.
Maybe the Chiefs' defense is trash, but the play calling that the Eagles had last week was phenomenal. That RPO is dangerous, and Devonta actually had, as good as he was week 1, this was by far his best game. Yeah. And he had a touchdown that was called back, even though it looked as if it was defensive pass interference. He got pushed out of bounds, had that touchdown called back on him. I like this Eagles offense. Panthers defense is just a little too elite for my...
If the Eagles want to win this game, they have to start running the ball. Like, I don't know what's going on because you can't be so... I know you're going against the Chiefs and you're losing, but we even started the week before, again, losing, but you can't, like... There's no way you should have 2 carries for Miles Sanders.
2 carries against Dallas and 7 carries against the Chiefs last week, and both of them are not it. Dallas's rush defense is pretty solid. Chiefs' rush defense is not good by any stretch of the word. But given the fact that the Panthers' defense has been solid, Sam Darnold has played well, they did give Dallas a decent game, didn't roll over really. I'm going to go Panthers at home.
I'm going with the Eagles. I think the Panthers' great start defensively has been a product of the teams they face. Even though I think they're still a great defense, I don't think they're as shut down as they have shown in the first 3 weeks of the season. I have the Eagles. I like how Jalen Hurts is playing. I like the quick passing RPO screen game that they have running. Sirianni tends to call a good game, and I think their defense isn't that bad. Darius Slay has had a bounce-back season. Anthony Harris in the secondary, that defensive front still gets after it, and the Panthers' offensive line isn't good. I'm picking the Eagles. I think they go 2-3.
Real quick, fantasy question. Miles Sanders, Leonard Fournette.
I saw you have Fournette in right now.
It's tough.
Remember who they're playing?
Buccaneers are playing the Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah, bro. The Dolphins might have the worst rush defense.
That's why I'm leaning Lenny, but
it hurts to sit Miles
because you know it's inevitable.
It is. He's gonna bounce a 70-yard touchdown any week.
Next game, the Saints versus Washington.
These are 2 teams I don't really like, honestly.
I'm going Washington. Their offense has been surprising up until this point. Heineke has been overly impressive to me, truthfully. That play going backwards that he completely just turns around and says, oh, the check down's wide open, sees him perfectly, gets him, I think that was to J.D. McKissick, I'm almost positive. Yeah. Ends up being a huge gain for them.
For a touchdown, I think, right? Or was
I think so, yeah, no. I think you're right. It was at the one he tried to extend and get into the goal line, but Saints really... They've been whatever up until this point. Losing last week against the Giants, borderline inexcusable. Up 11. You shouldn't have lost that game at home. Giants really aren't a team that's really good enough to overcome a game like that.
Are
or
the
at
Saints
least
at home this week?
No, they're not. They're at Washington.
Yeah. I don't know. The Saints need to start getting Kamara involved more. I know he's getting a ton of carries, but I don't know how you don't get him involved in the passing game. He's your best weapon by far on offense.
0 targets last
week?
That's crazy.
The Washington's defense has been surprisingly terrible,
garbage,
so bad. I'll take the Saints.
Okay,
I'm taking Washington because the fact that the Saints have been competitive in games and they have no threat at the wide receiver or tight end position has been astonishing to me. It's been a testament on Sean Payne's play calling and also just having an elite offensive line. I mean, their offensive line allows them to suck at every single skill position outside of running back and still be a functional offense. I just think Washington has it on both sides, and Washington's biggest weakness is the Saints' biggest weakness, right? I mean, Washington, they don't have any corners. Their secondary is not that great.
Agreed.
But the Saints, their wide receivers aren't that great. So this is a perfect matchup for Washington. I think they win this game. Next game, the Titans versus Jaguars.
This is another ugly
I think
game.
we see the Jaguars' first win at home.
Urban Meyer,
he needs this win, truthfully. And the Titans showed that they're a beatable team. And Trevor showed that he could be big and be at least competitive against a solid team like the Bengals. I think Trev has a really good game. This is probably going to be his best game of the season thus far, and it's right in the stars for them.
I agree. I think the Jaguars coming off a competitive game where, like you said, Trev had probably the best game of his career. There is a ton looming over this franchise. The one thing that fixes everything is winning. So if they could win this game, especially AJ's probably going to be out. Julio, we'll see. If they're both out, then yeah, I love the Jaguars here. But regardless, I'll take them to win.
The Jets have one of the better defenses in the NFL, and that's crazy to say, but they do. Michael Carter and Bryce Huff are both top 15 corners according to PFF so far this season.
That Huff guy is
Hall.
Yeah.
Hall. Excuse me.
Yeah, Hall is good.
He is nice.
But defensive line, Bryce Huff also great. Yeah, Joe Douglas can't draft second-round receivers, but he could draft fifth-round corners.
But Bryce Hall was good. He just had injury concerns.
Exactly.
Like, he was supposed to be a day one, possibly, if not a second, third-round pick, but he just had some injury concerns.
That's why we should have taken a chance on Trey Smith. Personally.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree. I mean, at the 6th round, take whoever take the best player. It's the 6th round.
But I'll say this. I think the Titans, for me, have shown that they can be manageable. Like, Derrick Henry had a big game, but watching it, he did look as neutralized as you can neutralize Derrick Henry in that
when
game.
You're the only option,
when you get 35 touches.
But Ryan Tannehill,
just that. I mean, obviously AJ Brown and Julio were hurt. What was the game plan? The Jets had to know.
But Ryan Tannehill, having no receivers, played a phenomenal game.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Kept clutch moments, kept them in it, made great throws to receivers who didn't come up with the passes. AJ Brown practiced. Julio didn't, so maybe AJ Brown plays.
AJ practiced?
Yeah, AJ practiced.
Ooh, lit. I need that.
Yeah, for real.
So I think I'm going to pick Tennessee because I think Ryan Tannehill is good enough to beat Jacksonville.
Okay.
And I don't think they get pressure on him as similarly as the Jets did. I mean, you had Quinnen, Fadakazi, Franklin Myers, Bryce Huff, everybody getting after Tannehill, even Quincy Williams and C.J. Mosley. I don't think the same happens again.
CJ has been very impressive this season too. I'm surprised.
He's been our leader. He's been our leader.
No,
yeah, he's
for
been
real.
great.
And Quinnen, my God.
And his brother Quincy.
Both
Quincy's
of them.
been really good too.
Did you see that real quick? His mom passed away and his grandma was in the game, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a good moment.
Next game, Dolphins versus Buccaneers.
Yeah, Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm going Bucks too. Packers versus Bengals.
Tough. I'm going Packers, though.
Why do you think this is tough? You think the Bengals are like that?
I do. I do believe that.
In Lambeau or
no, at Cincinnati,
Okay.
which is why it's tough for me. But I do think the Packers have kind of cruised on easy teams, and I feel like the Bengals are one of the more up and coming teams.
Cincinnati.
That's what I'm saying. At Cincinnati. I think that given that Cincinnati has been on the rise, they're going to try and make a statement. I'm going Packers.
Yeah, I think the Packers will win as well. Just think overall they're a better team, better coach team. They have better players. I don't think
defense though is garbage, and obviously Cincy's offense is like that.
Yeah, it's good. And T. Higgins should probably be back. We'll see what happens. If Joe Mixon is out though, that hurts because you got Samaje P right now, which is a huge downgrade. And
is Jair going to play?
No, he's out for a while.
Well, there you go. I mean, right then and there, there's
Kevin King might not play either.
Okay, I know, but we have to trust Joe Burrow to drop back 45 times now and win.
You don't?
I trust him.
I trust him.
To out Joel Rogers, though.
You don't have Darius Smith either.
But it's not like Cincy's defense is garbage.
It's not. It's been fine.
I think with all the injuries, obviously I think the Packers will still win, but I think that this is going to be a close game.
It'll be competitive, yeah, since he's been, they have 3 wins.
Yeah,
definitely
true.
Competitive.
Yeah.
I'm going upset alert. I think the Bengals win this game.
It's a good pick.
No Jair. Kevin King might not play. You're counting on Sullivan and
you know what?
Eric Stokes, Jamar Chase, Boyd, T. Higgins. I think is going to be back.
Auden Tate,
that man too. And you can't forget about C.J. Uzomah.
Yeah, he's been really good.
No, he looked good last week. Hey,
I have the Bengals winning this game.
I'm back with you.
I think
I'm
Joe Burrow,
going Bengals as well.
Get this win. And Bengals 4-1.
For real, I'm
going
going
to win the division.
No, you convinced me. I'm going Bengals.
Next game, Broncos versus Steelers.
We're back.
Yeah,
we're back. Steelers have looked so sorry this season. Their secondary is mid. Obviously, Mika's like that, but I'm not worried about their corners.
Who's playing?
In the corners? What, Joe Hayden? Who else?
Between Drew Lock and Teddy.
Yeah, who plays?
From my mouth to God's ears, Teddy Bridgewater.
If it's Drew Lock,
he didn't practice. He's still in concussion protocol.
Oh, but that might take a week.
I was going to say the concussion's one of those things where once you pass, you're good though. It's not like it's a hamstring.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. I'm optimistic. Teddy plays. If Teddy plays, we win. If Drew Lock plays,
you lose.
I think you still win.
I'm going to throw it into the we do win. Our
Steelers,
defense is good enough. Their offense sucks, dude.
Bad. I can't wait for
you guys
next year.
have no Judy Cameron. Those are huge losses.
Bro, haven't had him.
Come on, man. Tim Patrick is like that.
He
loves Tim Patrick.
I love him.
He's good.
Noah Fant has
Tim
been
Patrick
good.
is your my Auden Tate.
I was low-key thinking that too, but Tim Patrick is better than Auden Tate. He gets burned in catches and receptions and touchdowns. Auden Tate doesn't.
I don't know if he got.
Look at Tim Patty's numbers this year.
Tim Patrick, I like him.
Me too. And Cortland Sutton, you kidding me? I don't have to speak on him.
Inconsistent so far though.
To be fair, I agree. That being said, Marlon Humphrey, James Bradbury, what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
What do you want him to do?
He had a disappointing game against the Jets, but you guys were kind of cruising the whole
Yeah.
game.
If Drew Lock plays, you guys lose. If Teddy Bridgewater
I put
plays,
money
this
on
is
it.
a very close
money
game.
on it.
If Drew Lock plays,
If Drew Lock plays,
what is it? What do you want
let's
to
do
bet?
a friendly 10.
Okay.
All right, look. All right, sweet. Let's go.
I would never put my money in on Drew.
You think I want to? I ride with my guys.
I think the Broncos will get it done regardless. The Steelers' offense it's hard to watch, honestly. It honestly on the eyes is almost as bad as like an Adam Gase run offense just because they can't throw the ball down the field. I'm sure you guys seen the highlights of Big Ben throwing, like falling over, throwing it 3 yards. There's 3 people around Juju. He gets intercepted. Like this offense is terrible to watch. I can't wait for next year because they have the weapons. Improve the offensive line a bit. The defense is there. It's been a bit underwhelming, but regardless,
I think it'll be a few years for a rebuild for them, though.
they're like the Broncos. They just need the quarterback.
But it's going to take unless they get a free agent quarterback, truthfully, if they're going to draft one, it's going to take a few years. And that O-line is garbage.
Yeah, and Bengals, Browns, Ravens are all
For
here.
real.
Bengals are coming, too.
They
They're
are.
coming. Next game, Bears versus Raiders.
I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, for sure. I think Justin Fields, this is another game where he should level up a little bit. He only had 200 yards, no
Big
touchdowns.
Justin Fields guy, man.
Of course, I'm a big Justin Fields. I like all the rookie quarterbacks, Like
I was a big Justin Fields guy. He just hasn't been overly impressive right now.
Yeah,
and we've said it. It's not his fault.
It's true, but he's showing me those throws and those moments where he can be big time.
Yeah,
that's all I want to
agreed.
see.
Fair enough.
It's a little disappointing. I don't know why they're not getting Allen Robinson more involved. Darnell Mooney looked phenomenal last week. But this is another stepping stone for Justin Fields against a defense who's good, but it's not Myles Garrett 4.5 sacks great.
I saw a report saying that Darnell and Justin Fields is the next best wide receiver duo.
Yeah, that's
Your
ridiculous.
opinion?
That was
You saw
PFF,
that?
right?
Yeah, man.
Like they're crazy.
They love
They just be
Justin
putting
Fields.
stuff on the internet.
They love Justin Fields.
They do.
PFF.
I mean, he's solid. It's just he hasn't shown it yet.
He also needs to get more on the ground game. He ran a 4.4. He had 3 attempts for 10 yards. You got to get him out on bootlegs designed runs.
I haven't really seen that yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know what you're talking about design-wise, but that athleticism, like I haven't seen that breakaway.
Again, it's tough when you have no time to even decide, okay, I'm taking off. Sure, sometimes you can beat
I think there have been times Fields has wanted to take off and he gets tackled. He gets stopped.
I think he's trying to prove right now that he could throw from the pocket. And part of that has to do with the play calling, that they're just not designing enough plays to get him out and moving. Like we saw with Zach the breakdown, when the play breaks down, you move out of the pocket and receivers are running. It's basically backyard football. That's what you need to get some. That's easy ways to get chunk plays.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders in this game. I think they bounce back, especially after Joey Bosa commented on Derek Carr like that. But I'm going to say the Bears have a chance, though. That pass rush can get after Derek Carr.
I saw Khalil Mack got hurt.
Rattle him. I think he's back now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's back now. So this is going to be a close game, but I just think the Raiders will win. Next game, Browns versus Chargers.
In my notes here, I have Baker kind of stinks. It's kind of true. He does kind of stink. I'm gonna go Chargers. I feel
Is this in LA?
It is in LA.
Yep. SoFi.
Browns defense is solid. It's very good. And I think that the Chargers offense will do enough to get past the Browns defense. I just don't think the Browns offense is good enough to get past the Chargers, which is why I lean Chargers.
Yeah, I think the Chargers have them beat almost in every area, outside of probably offensive
Running.
line.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's true. I guess maybe not. But skill position wise, quarterback wise, even secondary, we talk about how great Asante Samuel's been, Derwin James. I got the Chargers.
Yeah.
I don't trust Baker. I trust Justin Herbert. I like what they're doing. I'm going with the Chargers, my best team in the AFC right now. Giants versus Cowboys.
Dallas keeps rolling.
I agree.
I will say
New York.
Saquon has a good game.
You got New York.
I got New York. I got the Giants.
At Dallas?
Yes.
That's bold.
This
That's
game
bold.
This game's at MetLife?
No.
It's at Dallas.
Interesting.
They
They don't have the best home record in Dallas.
Which is fine with me. My thing is Dallas is just playing at a different level right now. You can't the confidence in the Giants I can respect, but I can't openly just be, lean Giants just because they had a good comeback game against the Saints. The Saints they gave that game to the Giants. I will say, if the Giants continue to get Saquon involved in the pass game, that offense will become borderline unstoppable.
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know why it took a Kenny Galladay, or not Kenny, Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton injuries to get Tony
involved
and Kenny Galladay involved. Like, you spent a first-round pick on Tony. I know I've bashed him in the past, but doesn't mean don't play him. And Kenny Galladay, who, even though I don't really agree with the signing, but you have to get him involved. You paid him big bucks, and it took 2 injuries to get you
The
two
Giants'
best players
defense
involved.
hasn't been good this whole season.
At all.
But I think this is their bounce back game.
I
think
disagree,
yeah.
man. Wrong week to pick them. Like that sounds like overly aggressive, but I just think it's the wrong week to pick them. Dallas has just been unbelievable.
I got the Giants in this one.
Fair.
You know, if Cowboys look, I haven't been a Dallas believer. If they win this game in handsome fashion,
This is the game that does it for
Not
you.
last
Yes.
week against the Panthers, putting up 36.
I don't know if the Panthers are that legit
That defense,
because that's their first
I
real
feel like
tough game.
I could have swore when I've been out and I've watched the show, you were saying the Panthers.
we
defense.
love the
Yeah,
Panthers
man.
defense.
I like the Panthers defense, but
It's something about Sammy and
I
Blue.
don't trust Sam too much, and I do think their schedule hasn't been the best.
That's your last TikTok is you basically saying how
that's
much
a
you miss.
joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. I don't mean it. I like Zach.
I know, obviously you don't have to mean every word you say, but you're telling me that you don't.
It stings a little. It's
Dude,
all right.
come on.
The
It doesn't
fact-
hurt to see him having some kind of success.
Nah,
More
because
success
I know what
in-
I know what Zach's going to be.
Fair.
Yeah,
I know what Zach's-
Fair.
I'll be honest. I would be more upset if versus Tennessee our offense stunk the bed.
Now, was it a joke up until Zach Wilson had this game against Tennessee?
No, it
I was
wasn't.
gonna say it can't be because you're all in,
bro.
yeah.
It wasn't.
But now I look at the Jets and hey, you know LaFleur isn't as bad as Adam Gase, and I feel happy about that.
I mean, come on, you could go.
But I do think the Giants, they're going to surprise some people. I saw a Logan Ryan interview. I watched it. I listened to it. Said a lot of good stuff. I liked. So I'm gonna pick a buy.
He
I'm
feels
gonna go
vibes,
buys.
and you know what? With that,
Yeah.
I can respect.
Facts.
49ers versus Cardinals.
Cards.
Yeah, Cardinals as well. There's too good right now.
Yeah, especially Trey Lance starts. I got Arizona, but I have Arizona regardless. Bills versus Chiefs Sunday Night Football.
Ooh,
Great game. Great
Yeah.
game. I just don't think Bills are ready for prime time.
Ooh, it's in Kansas City.
Yes.
It's in Arrowhead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is it. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game, but if they play again and Buffalo, who even though the Chiefs would have the tiebreaker if they win this game, this could be the year that the Bills do it. I don't know. The Chiefs, we have to wait to see if the defense turns around. Their offense looks as dominant as ever, but part of me wants
It's
to
a
go with the
tough game.
Bills, but
Yeah.
I don't want to have to root for them. Give me the Chiefs.
I don't want to root for the Chiefs. I'm just going with what I think is going to happen.
Even slate, if this game were to happen, I would pick the Bills. But because the Chiefs are behind the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers in the AFC West standings, this game means too much. They have to get above 500. They have to win this game. They know it. I think they beat the Bills.
Josh Gordon's all supposed to play. Love to see
Oh my
that.
God, I'm going to start crying.
Next, Monday Night Football, Colts versus Ravens.
This is going to be a great game.
Your best 1-3 team.
This is going to be a really
Your
good
best
game.
1-3 team versus the best team in the AFC.
Best team in the AFC. And with that being said, I'm going best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Ravens win this game easy.
Yeah, the Ravens should have no problem with this. Carson Wentz just hasn't been great this year. Still dealing with some ankle injuries. He'll probably have another injury at some point in this game.
Easy. Come on.
It's a little
What's
rude.
wrong with
It's
you?
rude, but it's kind of true, no?
Yeah, the offensive line is just bad.
I know, and no Quentin Nelson, so that's not going to make it better.
It's just tough because obviously I like the weapons that they have. Pittman is solid.
Yeah.
Zach Pascal and
Solid.
and
They don't have I don't think Pittman or Pascal's a 1.
but Pittman has
No, they're
been
not.
Pascal definitely not. Pittman, don't think so.
He doesn't
But
have
he-
the speed,
who Pittman or Pascal.
Pittman.
But Pittman's route running abilities is very good.
He's solid.
And finally, they involved Jonathan Taylor so heavily in the rush game. Is it a surprise that they had an easy coasting win?
Yeah.
Like, give him the rock, please.
Marlon Mack got some burn too,
and
even
it's
being
just
a
gonna,
healthy
it's
scratch.
gonna open up the pass game.
Maybe that's someone the Ravens go after. Marlon Mack. He was in the on the trade block.
Don't need that. I spent a lot of fab on Latavius Murray.
Yeah, that would stink.
I'm going with the Ravens. I don't think the Colts bounce back against the Ravens. They haven't looked the best to me, and Carson Wentz went from the Eagles injured offensive line to the Colts injured offensive line, and
So
True.
unfortunate.
the Eagles no receivers to the Colts no receivers. You know, outside of Pittman, but Zach Pascal, he's not the best, and T.Y. Hilton is always hurt. He's been hurt these past couple of years.
Should be
I think the Ravens win.
should be a run first team with Jonathan Taylor getting 80% of the running back work, sprinkling Naeem Hines on every once in a while on third downs or a 2-minute drill if you really want to, but should be a run first team and let Wentz just not screw up.
And that's going to do it for NFL Pick'em Week 5. Drop in your predictions in the comment section down below if you're watching on YouTube.